So this is a house on Pepita Street in Fort Myers Beach. We are going to be tearing down today, and this is what Hurricane Ian did to this particular house. This is another frame house, and it's definitely condemned, and it's in really bad condition. So I'm just walking through here just to make sure there's no homeless people hanging out in here, and that we're not going to crush the house on anybody. So this is the mess that these hurricanes leave when your structure is not designed to withstand them. So this house literally just completely failed in a lot of different areas. It's completely unsafe, and it is another waterfront home. If you look way over there, that is the Gulf of Mexico. And there used to be houses all the way through this, all the way over there. So just take a look at that. Isn't that terrible? It's just such a sad thing. So that hurricane brought in, 10 to 20 foot, depending on what area you were in on the island, what part of the island, and it just brought the debris and just beat everything really badly. This is Colton tearing down another house on Fort Myers Beach. This house is a frame house. It appeared to be a multi-family unit. There was units downstairs and units upstairs. The house was completely devastated. What happens with these houses is the debris that's inside of the water that's rushing back and forth with the storm surge, it beats the heck out of these houses. So this particular house is a frame house, and it is built on pilings, and the lower level was enclosed. So that's him pulling out one of the pilings. The pilings create a special problem for us because the regular C&D dumps don't want the pilings. So we have to take them to a special dump. Or we have to cut them up into 1 or 2 foot sections, which it's easier just to take a truckload of them to the other dump. So this video is going to be a 50-minute video, 50 plus minutes, and I'm only going to talk through a little part of it. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the backstory and why we're tearing this house down. It got hit pretty hard, but not nearly as hard as Fort Myers Beach and Sanibel did. Sanibel and Fort Myers Beach, it's going to take them a long time to recover. There is a significant amount of the properties here that were frame, and they just couldn't take the pounding. When I got on the island right after the hurricane, we snuck on. We knew they'd closed the island off, so we snuck on before they closed off the island. We brought my truck all the way down here, and they actually closed the bridges down that we came across. They were supposedly unsafe. Now they probably were unsafe. And we snuck down here real quick because we just wanted to see where my boat was and to see what happened to our house. And oh my God, you just wouldn't believe the devastation. So there were houses that were on the street, and the main street, Estero Boulevard. The storm had stripped all the furniture out, the garage doors on most of them, the windows on most of them, and this stuff was just gone. Like somebody did an interior demolition like we do a lot of, and pushed it all, and it was gone. It wasn't in the yard, it was gone. The cars were gone, the furniture, the drywall, a lot of the framing, the windows, the doors, and these concrete homes, they took it. The storm through the water rushing back and forth just stripped these houses down to nothing. So this particular house, directly across from it, there used to be a car wash, and it was a concrete car wash, but it knocked it over. The storm knocked it over from all of the storm surge going back and forth. When Hurricane Ian hit, it pushed this huge amount of storm surge into the island, and it covered the whole island. Some parts of the island have a 10-foot elevation, some parts of the island have a 3-foot elevation, so there was between 10 and 20 foot of water on the whole island. So it was terrible. I mean, when we came on the island, all these cars were upside down. The boats were gone, houses destroyed. There was 3 to 4 foot of sand all over the streets, and just all the kind of craziness. There was a significant loss of life on the island. There are people that I used to see all the time, and I've seen them in the news. that they had passed away in the storm. So what happens with a lot of people, you get all these false alarms for storms over and over. So you get to the point where you're numb to it. And then when there's really a bad one coming, you don't pay any attention to it. So a lot of these guys, they stayed when they shouldn't have stayed. My wife and I, we waited till the last minute, and fortunately we actually had a place to go, and we pulled out. And we are thankful that we did. We would be traumatized. A lot of the people I know that did stay, they got like PTSD from it. It was just terrible to go through it and to almost die, because the water just kept coming up and up. Even if you were in these houses that were elevated, it was pushing these brand new houses that were built to take the 150 mile per hour storm surge, and it was shaking them back and forth. And then there were boats and stuff running into the houses, and it was terrifying. And then there were fires and all kinds of other stuff, and nobody's coming to help. Until the storm is past, there's nobody coming to help. So for like 10 hours, Hurricane Ian just pummeled us. So, interesting and fun little fact, we moved our cars and I left my Jeep. And the ironic thing is I left my Jeep in the garage, and I left it there because I didn't want to get water. I didn't want to be rained on. And, we had 6 foot of water in our house. So I had 6 foot of water in my Jeep. So, that's a funny, but not so funny. Funny after the fact. So that Jeep was gone, and, we got paid out by the insurance and everything. A lot of these people on Fort Myers Beach, their insurance companies are not doing anything for the wind damage, and they have to tear this stuff down out of pocket. So if you notice how Colton's tearing this one down, he's really careful to keep pulling the debris down and to mulch it up a little bit to get it into the truck. It's also raining. It's a dreary day, which we don't get a lot of dreary days here, and he's loading this up, trying to keep the voids down so we don't have as many loads. He kind of pushes it down as he goes and tries to keep it inside so the tarp doesn't get snagged on the debris. The mosquito control company, a part of Fort Myers Beach, was just behind this on the other side of the canal. So most of the time when you're at a construction debris dump, you don't see any birds or wildlife. You go to a landfill and you'll see all kinds of birds and stuff, because they're feeding on all of that food that we throw away. So once he's done with this, he's going to peel up the foundation and peel up the driveway, the pavers, and the other concrete stuff, and he'll send it to the concrete dump. The difference between the concrete dump and the C&D dump is this stuff that we're loading up right now. It's C&D, and it's going to be about $65 a ton to dump it. The concrete, if you did it by the ton, it would be, first of all, you can't put it very deep in that trailer because it would weigh so much, and you're only allowed to carry so much weight on the public streets. So if we dumped what we could fit into that dump trailer at the C&D yard, it would cost $2,000 to $3,000. So we've learned to find the concrete recycling companies, and we bring them the concrete with the rebar, and they mulch it up and turn it into gravel to put into concrete, or gravel to put underneath road surfaces and stuff like that. So the difference in the cost is one 20-yard dumpster of concrete, which is about as much concrete as you can put on a truck legally, is going to be about $100 to $150 for a load. So as you can see here, he's got probably about a third of this house into this one dump trailer. So rainy day, you'll see in some of this video, you'll see some of the raindrops on the camera lens, and that's what's going on. Is, we don't get a lot of those dreary days here. It's kind of nice, but this is one of those days. So Sanibel, Fort Myers Beach, ground zero for Hurricane Ian. We have demoed so many houses that have come from the direct result of Hurricane Ian. How we demo these houses, by separating everything out and recycling what we can. Most of the time, a house like this, we would get in, and not necessarily this house. This one was destroyed to the point where there's really nothing in it that we could do anything with. The rain and the sun and everything for, you know, the year and a half since Hurricane Ian hit has ruined everything. Those windows in this one were ordinary windows. They weren't hurricane windows. And this house honestly was damaged to the point where we wouldn't have felt safe to have our guys in there scrapping it out. Most of the houses, probably 50% of the houses that we're demoing, we're able to go in and we repurpose a whole bunch of stuff. You know, a lot of these are higher elevation houses, and the furniture and everything is fine. They had such a huge amount of damage that they, due to the 50% rule, they can't rebuild. And what the 50% rule is if the house repairs will cost more than 50% of the value of the house, the structure house, not including the land. If it's going to cost more than 50% of that, FEMA will not allow you to rebuild. You have to bring it up to current codes. So this part of the island would be at least 10 feet off the ground, and you're not really allowed to build anything permanent on the first floor. So here we are with the, this is our dumpster truck and one of our 30-yarders. Ivan's running that load, and he'll come back and grab this one and run that one and put the other truck back into play, and you know, and they'll make a quick cleanup on this house. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. We're going to go all the way through taking out the concrete and hauling all that away and smoothing out and making this thing look beautiful. Thank you so much for watching our videos. We appreciate you. We'd like to learn more about what you'd like to see. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe and leave us a like. I will see you on the next video.